Okay, I'm going to do a review on the Kid Made Modern colored pencils. So these colored pencils I got at Target, but before I say anything else, let me talk a little bit about Kid Made Modern. Kid Made Modern collection is by a guy by the name of Todd Oldham. Oldham as in Oldham. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. The colored pencils, they come in this cylinder cardboard packaging, and I think you can only find these at Target because they say Todd Oldham teamed up with Target to create Kid Made Modern, a colorful collection of creativity. So I'm assuming you can only find these at Target. Let me show you why. We can also see that Target is sort of embossed. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we can see Target is sort of embossed on this. So if we take a look at the color pencils, we can see that it is this sort of unfinished design that they say is smooth to the touch and attractive. So that's what they say. And also, you can see that each color, you can see that you know which color you're using. Like this KMM stands for Kid Made Modern. It's a turquoise. And you can see what the color, you can see it's similar. Let me show you an example of that. But first, let me just show you all the color pencils. Okay, so here are all 36 of these beautiful, vibrant colors, and I was going to talk about how you can see which color you're using, because you know, the bottom shows the color displayed there, and here is a chart I have done of all the 36 colors we have. So let me just kind of look at that. Hold on a second. Let me just kind of make, okay, there we go. Yep, that's better. Okay, so here are 36. I have a chart of them. It's always good. You always want to have a chart ready so you can know which color you're using. So I was going to talk about comparing to see if it's actually accurate. So here's turquoise, and make sure to see what that looks like next to turquoise. So this is turquoise. That looks pretty similar. And then let's look at something like, call this tomato. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty similar. And then let's look at lilac. Alright, lilac, okay. Yeah, it looks pretty similar to lilac, yeah. And let's look at one more, maybe a couple more, who knows. This looks like azalea. Here's azalea. Oh, this looks kind of darker, so I mean they're close enough. So I mean, how about olive? Where's olive at? Here is olive. Okay. Yeah, that looks. They're pretty close. So I think it's always good to have. You can see which color. That's pretty neat there. I thought that was pretty neat. Okay. Zoom out again, and yeah, so these are also 6 of the pencils, and I was just demonstrating you know, how useful this can be. Okay, so let's get into something else. Okay, so let's talk about how these pencils shade. So here's a drawing I've done with these pencils. This one was kind of washed. You can see it looks very what's the word, blotchy. It doesn't, yeah, it looks very washed there. That was my fault. I guess I was too excited. So I'm gonna talk about the colors I used. You know, let me zoom out so we can talk about the colors a little bit. Okay, so for her face, I used let's see, I used Kelly, which is this green type of color for her face. And I also used this color called violet, which looks to be blue. I don't know why they call it violet. That looks like blue. So I basically used green and blue for her face. And then I also used some yellow, which they call lemon. And I, you know, basically used yellow to kind of blend them all together. And for her hair, I used raspberry, which is this red type of color. and then I mixed it. For the darker parts of her hair, I used this dark type of red, which they call bark. I will mention though, if we take a look at this color chart, you notice that there's no brown. So that's not good. You know, there's no there's probably a color you can. There's probably some way you can mix up a brown, but there's no brown, unfortunately. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you how I can shade with these pencils. So let me do that now. Okay, so on the Kid Made Modern website, they mentioned that their pencils have vibrant lead colors that blend and shade beautifully. So we're gonna see if they really blend and shade beautifully. Okay, so I'm going to be utilizing this spare to test the blending. So of course I'm gonna be kind of quick here. So I'm gonna be using this blue, which they call Violet, and this green, which they call Kelly. So I'm going to start out with the crescent moon, they like to call it, the crescent moon shadow. Okay, so I know if I really want something to blend properly, you probably need to take your time, but I don't want this video being too long, so I am kind of rushing. Even though, and then if I say, oh, they didn't blend properly, it's probably really going to be my fault. Okay, so I'm just shading it in. I don't want a video that's too long, so I'm just trying to shade it in nice and quickly. And then I'm going to just lighten up the pencil as I get farther away from the shadow. So we know the light source is sort of, coming from up here. Okay. So now I'm shading this in. So I'm going to be really honest. I don't really... Did I already say that? I don't really draw in a lot of spares. I don't draw a lot of spares, and I don't color a lot of spares. I don't really color a lot of spares, because let's be honest, spares are just kind of boring, but we have to get a spare in, I guess. Okay, so once I get the shadow in, once I get the gradation in there. Okay, so I'm just building up and building up. Maybe I want this shadow to be a little bit darker. We're gonna have a reflective light, as always. When it comes to these spares, reflective light. And of course, this color, they call it violet, and it looks nothing like violet. It looks like blue. As you can see, that looks like blue. Okay. These pencils, they feel, I will say, I did compare them to my Crazy Art colored pencils, and I feel like these pencils, they feel kind of abrasive if you compare them to the Crazy Art. They do feel kind of abrasive, I think. Let's hope this let's hope this will just take about 5 minutes to do this. Any longer than that won't be very good. So I'm just gonna try to take my time here. So like I said, I was comparing these to my Crazy Art colored pencils. And the Crazy Art colored pencils are like very, very airy. They're very smooth. You really get that very airy type of sort of brushed feel. But these feel kind of abrasive. But now that I'm going with this, it feels quite smooth to me, I think. And now I'm using the Kelly, which is this green type of color. Okay, so I'm mixing in. I'm blending. They say they blend very smoothly and stuff, so we can see we're just testing that out now. Of course, you're going to do yourself justice if you take your time. Okay, so I'm just mixing these in. So when I was comparing them to the Crazy Art, I did say the Crazy Art, they felt a lot smoother, and this felt kind of abrasive when you compared them to the Crazy Art, but they feel really smooth now. I think they feel really nice right now. They feel very, very nice, and I'm just smoothing that and blending it in like that. Yeah, they feel quite nice there. And another thing is that I like how they display which color you're using on the bottom. And oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention is the price. You can get these at Target. Well, you can only get them at Target. I think you find a lot of kid-made modern products at Target. Kind of like you know, like if you shop at Walmart, you know, you see great value and stuff like that. And then if you go to dolls, you see things like, you see Best Choice. You know, you're not going to see Best Choice at Walmart, and you're not going to see great value at dolls or anywhere else. So it's kind of like they all have their own kind of brand that they sort of use. Okay, I'm going to use a blue here. So I guess, yeah, Kids Made Models is the brand you're only going to find at Target. Just like how I mentioned, great value and Best Choice. Great value products are actually quite good, I think. Even though generic brands, you know, because some people are just gonna sort of, you know, not give generic brands a chance because they think, oh, you know, it's always good to go with the name brand. But you can get some serious bargains if you don't always go with the name brand. You could be doing yourself a, you know, disservice, always looking away from the generic brands. Plus, they're a lot cheaper. Because, you know, you're kind of paying for branding as well. And like I said, these pencils, they cost $7.99. Which is, for 36 pencils. I'm not sure if that's a good deal or not. Okay, so let's see what else I can do. Okay, now I'm shading the spare in. Mixing it in with blue. I think they blend nicely. That's very nice. I really like the way they blend. That's really nice. And let's see what else. This might be a longer video, but, you know, I mean, I feel like, you know, you gotta do these pencils justice, so maybe it deserves a longer video. How about that? Now let's pull out another pencil. I'm gonna pull out some lemon, which is this yellow type of color. Now let's start blending. I'll start smoothing this out here. This is nice. I probably should sharpen these pencils a little bit. Probably should sharpen that a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, I hope I didn't break it. Okay, good. That's good. These pencils, they blend nicely. Of course, you know, it's always good to take your time. If you don't take your time, then they're not going to blend. Now let's do some of the shading. Shadow. Like I said, I'm kind of washing. I probably could have, you know, done a better job. I'm kind of washing here. Why am I washing? That's an interesting question. I'm going to put in the shadow with the blue color just to make it interesting. This is kind of just a funny way of drawing. It's not really real. Is it now? But you can see, it's these pencils are quite cool. You can do some amazing things with these pencils. Nice and sharp there. Just putting in the shadow, because the shadow is always going to be over here, you know, because light's supposed to come from here, so we can get deeper shadow there. You can see the crescent moon here. Kind of shading that a little bit more there. Okay, building up that shadow, building it up. And as it gets farther away, you gotta loosen up those, loosen that up, loosen it up. But I still feel that it feels kind of abrasive, if you compare it to Crazy Art. Because the colored pencils I use on a daily basis are Rose Art and Crazy Art. I don't use other brands that much. I mainly just use Rose Art and Crazy Art. Okay, so mixing this in, getting some really dark areas there. I feel like this needs to be a lot darker, this shadow there. I think I need to do that area a little bit more justice. I would really love to, maybe I'll have to kind of turn it this way. Getting that shadow in there. And of course, you know, if you really want to, you know, perfect the spare, whatever it's called, the sphere. If you really want to protect, what's the word? I forgot the word I just was saying. Perfect. If you really want to perfect it, you have to take your time. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all I can do for now, and you know, you can see that, you know, it gets a really good, some really good shading there. Really good. And of course, you know, you could do an even better job if you take your time and you're not watching like some people on YouTube who acts like you always have to watch. But come on, you gotta be honest. Like, I gotta watch. You know, people have some pretty short attention spans. Okay, so now we're winding down to the last bits of it. I think I could have done a better job, but you know, that's the best I can do for now. And you know, so yeah, this is my review of the Kid Made Modern colored pencil. Let me zoom out of that. And these are the Kid Made Modern colored pencils. They also come in a smaller size. These are the, you know, these pencils are 7 inches long, the regular pencil size, but they also have a smaller version. They call it the mini colored pencils, and they're $2 cheaper. They, you know, because these, like I said, they subtotal for $7.99, and then the mini ones, which are smaller, they subtotal for $5.99. Okay, so thank you for watching, and this is what you can do with these colored pencils. Okay.